Hey everyone, this is Stephen Strawn at Cast Iron Cookware, where you can find information to help you better collect, restore, and use cast iron cookware. Today we're going to be doing baked picanha, and we're going to be doing that coming right up. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's purchased my product, Easy Beezy Cast Iron Seasoning. The purchase of this product helps keep this channel going, and I just want to say thank you so very much. Now, let's get on into our video. Now, if you're not familiar with picanha, a lot of people call it a Brazilian style cut. The description on this here is cab, prime, boneless, top sirloin. So it is the sirloin cap, but it's always in a kind of a triangle shape. The Brazilian style of cooking picanha is a little different than what I'm going to do today. And I'll leave a little picture here to kind of show you what it looks like. You can cut it in 3 or 4 pieces and cook it like a steak. Now the way you cut it is very, very important. If you look here, you can see the grain runs this direction. Now if you're going to bake it like I am, you don't have to cut it at all, but you do need to know which way the grain goes. So when you get ready to serve it, the way I'm going to serve it is then you'll cut it against the grain in small slices. Now if you're going to cut individual steaks, you'll cut it long ways into steaks, and then when you serve it, the person who eats it can cut against the grain, leaving a really tender piece of meat. If you watched an earlier video of mine, since I've been on the carnivore diet, I've been doing a lot of top sirloin because it's inexpensive. According to this right here, it is $11.99 and it's been marked down to $9.99 while it's on sale. So that's $2 difference. Even at $11.99, this is a bargain piece of meat. If you cook it right, you will love it. And I'm just going to bake it. I'm going to keep it really simple. We're just going to pull the camera down and show you how I get started and maybe talk about the cut just a little bit. But before we do, I'm going to talk about the skillet that I'm going to use for this. This is a fairly modern Lodge. It is an 8 SGP, and I believe the SGP stands for square grill pan. Makes sense. Has this nice little helper handle on the edge to be able to pick up heavy pieces. And it also has the grill lines. Normally when I cook a steak, I want the bottom to be touching every square inch of the surface. But since we have a large fat cap on this, I'm going to turn the fat cap down, and through half of our cook, I'm going to let it cook on the fat cap. And just for a little bit before we take it out, I'm going to flip it over and sear the bottom somewhat. But this little pan works great. Like I said, it's modern. You can use any skillet you want. A regular skillet will work just fine. I like the grill marks because I can set it down according to the grain and I don't forget which way the grain goes. So let me pull the camera down. We'll take a look at the cut, show you how I prep it, and then we're going to get to cooking. So first of all, we're going to go ahead and take this out of the pack. You kind of look at each individual one. Like I said earlier, we have a pretty good fat cap, fairly thick on the top. This is the part that sits right on top of the sirloin. This is one we got a little bit of silver skin I want to take off before we get started. And this is another big piece right here. This is more of a rectangle, and you see the way the grain goes. If you cut it into individual steaks, you want to cut it this way. Then after you cook it, when you serve it, you will cut it this way while you're eating. That way you have the best tender piece. But the way we're going to do it, we're going to cook the whole thing, and when we serve it, we're just going to slice it like you would roast beef and eat it like that. And you can see the direction of the grain right here. So we're going to save this one for later. I'm going to go ahead and prep them both. I'm going to put this one in a bag and let it set. We're going to cook it tomorrow. So first of all, I like to use coarse salt, and I salt it really well. This is Redmond's real salt. I poured it in this container right here to make it easier to pour. And if you would like, a lot of people will score the top. You don't have to go deep. I mean, you can if you want to. If you want to go all the way through the cap into the meat a little bit, that's fine. I'm not going to. I'm just probably going to go through the cap and just stop just shy of getting into the meat. It's not going to hurt to do a little on the side. Give it a little pat so it'll stick. You can do a little scoring this way, but I'm not going to go as deep. So, normally I will let this set all night, but today we're going to go ahead and start right away. This is going to be our secret weapon. I have a little thermostat. We can set it at 140. We're going to go ahead and put this in our pan. And what I like about it, the grill marks, I like to turn it the direction of the grill marks. That helps you remember which direction to cut it in the end. So we're going to put our probe in. We want to make sure we get in the center, and we're going to go all the way up in there past the bend so we can get a good temperature reading. So we're just going to drop this in our oven just like it is. We have our oven preheated at 350 degrees. We're going to cook it fairly slow. Now if you want to lower the temperature, cook it a little bit longer, even better. Now you're saying 140 degrees, that is not medium rare, that's like medium well. I personally like my steaks medium rare, but I found when I bake this picanha this way, even at 140, it really feels like a medium rare texture. I tried to cook one at 130 degrees, and I cut that thing open and I thought, man, this is really rare. And I'm a rare guy, but it was a little too rare for me. So I'm going to bump it up to 140. So just remember, when you bake an entire picanha, you might want to add about 10 degrees to what you normally put on your steaks. One thing that I will do is when it gets up there to about 130 degrees, about 10 degrees before we reach our target, I'm going to turn the steak over and let it sear a little bit on the bottom. So let's put it in our oven and get to cooking. I'm going to be using our bottom. We're going to put it right in the middle. Basically, I have all glass, so I don't really have any metal to stick it on. I'm just going to set it right there and we'll be fine. Okay, our timer has just went off and we're at 140 degrees. It's probably going to rise another 5 degrees even after that. We're going to bring it out, put it on the table and let it rest for a little bit. So let me bring it out and let you take a look. Oh man, doesn't that look good? Let's go ahead and pull our probe out. Be careful with this thing. It is hot, hot, hot. Okay, we're going to take this out and let it rest. Let's move this pan here out of the way. If you notice the score lines where I scored the top, that lets us know the direction of the grain. So we're going to let this rest for about 10 minutes and we're going to cut it, take a look at it and get us a bite. Okay, beautiful. We're just going to cut into it. And this is the way you want to go. We want to start oh man, look at that. This is the way I like to cut it. Let's look at some of this. Now look, this just pulls apart. Now this stuff is so tender. Look at it, it just falls apart in your fingers. And that's when you cut it the right direction. That's what you get. It is so good. And if you see, it's really still pink. Even though it's 140 degrees, it is done. That's why I say when you bake picanha, you want to go ahead and add another 10 degrees to it. Man, this is wonderful. And scoring this, it makes it not so chewy. The fat cap is delicious. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I promise to keep more coming. And I just want to say thank you again for watching Cast Iron Cookware. Before you go, I would like to share something with you really quickly. In Revelations chapter 21 verse 4 it says, "And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." I just want to say, share the word and be a blessing.